Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look at Kentucky Derby Contender Fierceness, a horse that will likely be vying for favoritism with Sierra Leone. Might very well just be the favorite because he's simply the fastest horse on the way in. Take a look at last year's two-year-old champion winning the Florida Derby with a 110 Beyer speed figure. Fierceness bombed in his seasonal debut, the Grade 3 Holy Bull. This is the Fierceness we come to expect.
Yeah, this is how you redeem yourself off of a disappointing performance here, Dan. Now, listen, this Florida Derby didn't pull the strongest field in the world, that's for sure. Fierceness, though, really took no prisoners at the start of this race, went right to the front. This field never had a chance as they came out of the first turn of that race. He was really impressive. The race came back really fast. And that's not the first time that this horse has been really impressive on the racetrack.
When Fierceness wins, he is super impressive. Note his career debut at Saratoga. Consider he's an August two-year-old. He wins by the length of the stretch, and he does it with a 95 Beyer speed figure. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile, his third lifetime start, his first race around two turns. He wins by the length of the stretch over some good two-year-olds with a 105 Beyer, and then the Florida Derby. The issue is he can be had, as we saw in the Champagne and the Holy Bull, when he didn't break that alertly. Is this the kind of horse that needs to have everything go perfectly? Can he overcome adversity? That's the big question in the Derby.
Yeah, I guess we're going to find out on the first Saturday in May too, Dan. And that's what I think will make some people hesitate to take this horse at too short of a price. There is, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out, though, because he's so lightly raced that I just feel like you're not supposed to pigeonhole this horse in that way, at least right now. There's this narrative that has already built up around Fierceness that if there's a straw in his path, he won't run, his very best race. And maybe that will ultimately prove to be true. But he's not a made horse yet, Dan. And I don't think it's necessarily fair to look at him that way, at least at this stage of the game.
I tend to agree. In the Champagne, he also caught a wet track. In the Holy Bull, it was his first race back. Maybe Todd didn't have him completely cranked up, and after that bad start, he wound up chasing a slow pace from the outside. We have seen Fierceness, though, do his best running when he's kind of right up there on the lead. Do you feel he's a need-the-lead type? Can he sit third, 2 lengths off the lead in a race like the Derby, pass horses and hold off the closers?
Yeah, I think he can. I mean, I think he showed that in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. He wasn't on the lead that day. That pace was legitimate. He just sort of sat right up there. And I know that, Breeders' Cup, especially that day, it felt like you wanted to be forward in those races, and maybe some other horses you could say were compromised. But he wasn't on the lead that day. He was very comfortable around the track, and he beat a good field that day for fun and fast time.
Mike Rapoli stable, homebred by City of Light. Strong family. The dam a half to outwork a Grade 1 stakes winner. The family of Cairo Prince, a multiple Grade 2 stakes winner. He's won at distances ranging from 6 furlongs to 1.1 miles. 1.1 miles and 1.25 miles to 1.25 miles is still a pretty long bridge, Mike. Any concerns about the distance?
Not really, but you never know if they're going to get it until they try it, Dan. It just feels like if this horse winds up in the right position early and they don't make him go too fast, I don't think the 1.25 miles is getting them beat here. I mean, we'll just see if, somebody can up their game and maybe get a little bit closer to this horse. Because if he fires his best shot, he is clearly the horse to beat on the first Saturday in May.
No, his natural talent level is next level. He is maybe the most naturally talented horse in this race. He's simply brilliant and he's very fast. It's Fierceness. He's going to be tough in the Kentucky Derby.